Hello everyone, it's Monday and that means it's time for another Monday morning clinic here at Rescate Wildlife. This morning started just like most mornings do with monkey medication. Some of them are in incubators, some of them are in the smaller enclosures, but all of them need their meds first thing in the morning. After that, next patient was a hawk that was brought in last week. It's doing really well and responding to medication and treatment in its small incubator. But next step is Sophie needs to check if it can fly. If it can fly, it's going to be able to go for release this week. If it can't, it's going to have to continue treatment. So they took it to the raptor's enclosure, let it go, and unfortunately, it just coasted to the ground and then hopped around, which is an indication that the wings aren't doing so good. So they're gonna take it in for x-rays tomorrow and see what's going on there. After that, they checked up on a boa snake that was brought into the clinic 2 weeks ago and had to undergo surgery. It had been attacked by a machete, so it had a whole bunch of cut wounds. The surgery went really well, and now they're doing checkups to make sure that there's no infection and that the wounds are healing as expected. Continuing along, Sophie wanted to check up on an anteater that is set for release this week. And sure enough, he's doing really well. And so we're really excited that he's gonna be set to go back to Bosque on Thursday. After that, it was time for a parakeet roundup. Parakeets in the mid-sized enclosure that's located in the clinic were collected and then brought out to the large enclosure that is located deep in the forest. The plan with this is to continue to move patients into larger and larger enclosures, becoming more and more accustomed to independence, and then ultimately be released. While over there, we actually got to witness this release process because 3 of the parakeets in the different section of the larger enclosure were ready to participate in the soft release. After that was complete, we headed back to the clinic where, again, that medium enclosure is now completely empty. So what do we do with that? Well, we moved the juvenile parakeets that were in the smallest enclosure in the clinic now into that medium enclosure. Once we finished with all that parakeet shuffle, we then moved on to a toucan patient.
Unfortunately, it seemed like this toucan hit a window,
which you can tell by the neurological behaviors that it's exhibiting. The game plan for this is to monitor, give it medication, and pump its incubator full of oxygen to hopefully encourage rehabilitation. After that, we moved on to a macaw case. This macaw apparently also had hit a window, but the vets there don't actually believe this story. The macaw is not exhibiting any neurological symptoms that we see in the toucan. It's alert, bright, and actually quite friendly with humans. And the biggest tell is that its wings were clipped. So it's quite obvious to the team here that this was in fact someone's pet. At first glance, this macaw didn't seem to have any injuries, which is a great sign. But just in case, Sophie took blood and x-rays to double check that there's nothing hiding underneath. The final thing the team needed to address was the clipped wings. Pet owners clip pets' wings to prevent them from flying, but really when the goal is rehabilitation, we want the animals to be doing these natural behaviors like flying. So the team has to go ahead and address that to try to encourage wing regrowth. Sophie explained that the best way to encourage regrowth is to remove the clipped feathers. If you leave them in, molting won't occur and it'll take a year for the macaw's feathers to grow back. If you remove the affected feathers, it'll only take about 3 months. I asked Sophie if this macaw was going to be a candidate for re-release, and she actually said it was going to do more with behavior than physical limitations. She said this macaw will definitely fly again, but it's a question of if behaviorally it can separate itself from humans after being a pet for so long. If she remains too friendly or reliant on human care, unfortunately she's going to have to remain here in the sanctuary rather than being re-released into the wild. And that's it. That finishes up another amazing Monday morning here at Rescate with the incredibly talented vet team. And I hope you enjoyed following along. We'll see you in the next one.